Next up is authority. So what is authority? Authority is the source of the information. Authority generally stands for the author of the paper or the publisher. So we have to consider who is that authority, who is the author, and why should we listen to them? I mean, you guys are always thinking about, as middle schoolers, why should I listen to you? As a teacher, why should I listen to you? As a YouTube creator, why should I listen to you? So consider, why should you listen to the author of any paper, whether it's in a newspaper or it's online? You can't just assume that they're a good author. We have to figure out, what are their credentials or their organization's affiliations. Like, is it a biased affiliation? Considering, when you look at news, Fox News versus CNN have different affiliations. One of them leans Democrat and one of them leans Republican. So if you're taking a look at these different people, you have to consider, what is their goal? Are they trying to give a biased view of the information to you? Are they trying to convince you of something? Are they even qualified to write on the topic? So we have to take a look at the authority. And the best way to look at the authority to determine whether they're qualified is to Google them, look them up, and try and see if they have some sort of degree. So if you were looking at an author who is writing something on politics, you would want to see that they have some sort of degree in politics, or they have some sort of degree in the topic that you're talking about. And in order to find that, you would look it up. But if you can't find their degree, then they're most likely not trustworthy. They could be, but if we don't have proof that they have that degree, or we don't have proof that they went to that school or they study that topic, then we cannot assume that they are in fact qualified to talk about the topic you're researching. So we should not use an authority that is not qualified. So we also want to look for contact information, such as a publisher and email address, because if they don't post that, then we are not going to be able to get in touch with that person. And if you can't get in touch with them, then why don't they want you to be able to get in touch with you? It's something that's a red flag to look for, that they should have their information on a website so that you'd be able to see who they are. At least an email address. And lastly, does the URL reveal anything about the author or source? So what that's asking you to think about is, what type of website is it? Is it a .com website? Is it a .edu website? Is it a .gov website? Like, what is the person's credentials? If it's a .com website, any person can just buy a .com and, write about it in such a blog post. But if it is a .edu website, it must be an education facility, such as a college or, whatever it is. And in order to be a publisher of that, they obviously had to have been hired, and they had to have been vetted with that degree. Or if it's a government website, they had to have been hired to have that job in whatever government job sector it is. So when looking at the website, make sure that it's a .edu or .gov, something that's showing that they have to have a degree to write for them, whereas .com, any person can write for it, and there's no necessarily qualification that's saying they need a degree. So that is what we're talking about for the authority. How do we find them up? We Google them, we look for whether or not they are qualified, and then we look for what type of website they're writing for to determine, does this person seem like they're knowing what they're talking about. So that's about it, and next up is going to be accuracy.